This is All Things Cancer, the podcast of the National Foundation for Cancer Research, hosted by NFCR's President and CEO, Dr. Sujuan Ba. Dr. Ba is a globally recognized cancer research advocate and visionary leader. All Things Cancer episodes will explore the hindsight, insights, and foresight of cancer, from research discoveries to patient care advances, and how NFCR and our collaborators are working to accelerate the process of making cures possible.
Welcome to a special edition of All Things Cancer. In this episode, we sit down with Dr. Rakesh Jain, visionary scientist, educator, and pioneer in the field of tumor biology. A longtime NFCR-funded researcher and the 2022 recipient of the St. George Prize for Progress in Cancer Research. Dr. Jain has made groundbreaking contributions that continue to shape cancer treatment and patient care around the world. Later this week, Dr. Jain will be honored with the prestigious AACR Lifetime Achievement Award, recognizing a career of innovation, impact, and unwavering dedication to improving lives. Join us for this inspiring conversation. Hi, Rakesh. It's always wonderful to be sitting down with you.
Thank you.
I'm so pleased to see you have racked up quite a few awards over the years, including the prestigious National Medal of Science in 2013, right? And the NFCR St. George Prize in 2022.
Thank you very much. I want you to know that that award was one of the highlights of my scientific career. I mean, the whole ceremony was so festive, and it felt like a Hollywood Oscar ceremony. People all dressed up. You really see scientists that dressed up. They all bow ties and all. It was a very festive evening, and I'm going to cherish that forever.
And it's a great camaraderie, right? And wonderful dialogue and a lot of good ideas bouncing back and forth, and good collaboration coming out of all those great conversations. Yeah, that was a great moment.
And also had a chance to see many of my old friends. So that was just fantastic. It was a very special evening indeed. The whole event was just one of the best I have ever attended.
Oh, thank you. It's really a wonderful collaborating journey working together.
Well, I feel very privileged to be supported by NFCR since 1999.
Can you believe we have been working together for more than 2 decades?
Our work has moved during the time since I've known you, and supported by NFCR, it has moved from bench to bedside and back several times, and has led to FDA approvals. And maybe we can talk about that a little.
Yeah, we would love to share all those impactful research results. And, I joined the foundation in 1999. And
Same year. Maybe that's why.
that's why we connected so much all those years. So I consider you actually the second generation of NFCR founded scientists. Before, we have lots of great scientists like Dr. Harold Dvorak, Dr. Paul Schimmel, and Dr. Herman Sees. Those are early generation of scientists that supported by foundation. And then when I joined the foundation, we started a journey together with you. And it's indeed fantastic. 23 years, 24 years now.
Or something like that. But the interesting thing is, I should tell you that Dr. Harold Dvorak was one of the key person why I moved from where I was to Harvard to Mass General. And as you probably know, my training is, I was a professor of chemical engineer because I was an engineer by training.
And that is one of the unique things that we recognize in you.
So I discussed with Dr. Dvorak that this is a big risk I'm taking. I'm very comfortable where I am at big labs. I'm with the president of the university on a first name basis. And I said to him, I'm going to go to Harvard. I'm going to get lost. But he kept encouraging me, and he was very, very kind to me. And we have remained friends all along. And he also taught in my course, and for many, many years until he retired, actually.
and the angiogenesis field you both involved, contributed, really make a difference for cancer patients. So I'd love to hear about your research, all those years research progress that led to the 7 drugs approved you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, happy to discuss that with you. So when I entered, so I came to this country, if you don't mind just going back to the beginning, in 19,
I can relate to that.
so I came in 1972, just slightly 50 and a half years ago, and to do my PhD in chemical engineering. And I did my master's on mathematical modeling of Delaware River at the University of Delaware, which all of us know about now because of President Biden and because he graduated from there. And then I was so fortunate that for my PhD mentor introduced me to a very distinguished cancer biologist at NCI, Dr. Pietro Galino, was a pioneer in the area of tumor physiology, tumor pathophysiology. So it was a very interesting arrangement. I would travel from University of Delaware to NIH. All week I'll do my experiments and come home on weekend. But was the most, and that really got me excited. And what I discovered doing my work with him was that when you inject drugs, they don't get into the tumor uniformly. Get some regions, but not others. So I said, how are you going to cure cancer if you can get drugs to other tumor in an adequate quantity? So that became my mission. And so I applied for jobs to about every possible chemical engineering department and kept rejecting me one after another. And I didn't have a green card, so the U.S. had the worst recession that time. So they just said sayonara to me full time, except Columbia University invited me for an interview and chemical engineering department. I went there in the morning. 11 a.m. was a seminar, and at 5 p.m. they made me an offer. So I was so fortunate. So I had just accepted.
They see you. They believe in you.
So I stayed there for 2 years, 8 months. I loved living in Manhattan and being there. And then Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh approached me, and I moved there. And I was there for 13 years and really got very deeply involved in cancer research. Part of the reason I moved was because all the grants I was writing on drug delivery, improving, they were being rejected by NIH. NIH doesn't like to take risks because they kept saying I was a chemical engineer. What's my doing in cancer? Bio, totally unconventional, exactly. And then they said this problem is not important. So Carnegie Mellon gave me startup money and I used that to get started. And then I got grants from 1980 onwards. And for the last 43 years, I've been continuously funded by national NCI and DOD. And then since 1999 by NFCR. So at Carnegie Mellon, I was looking at blood vessels. And what I realized, the blood vessels were not functional. And we had to develop these windows in animals so that we could visualize the flow of blood. And I said, how are you going to bring things if the flow is not there? Now, at that time, the hottest thing in cancer research was angiogenesis.
And that's the field we were part of the original funding system.
Original idea of Dr. Folkman, my dear friend, and he passed away 10 years ago. So he had proposed a very compelling hypothesis in 1971 in an article in the New England Journal of Medicine, 1972, where he said that what we need to do is kill the blood vessels by developing anti-angiogenic drugs. And then we'll cure cancer. And the whole cancer field was working on that. Me too.
I remember the excitement.
So in 1998, actually, the front page of New York Times, article by Gina Colata, in which she quotes, she quotes the Nobel laureate.
Yeah.
And he says, Jim Watson says, Judah is going to cure cancer in 2 years, 98. And so I read that article. In my lab, I was giving anti-angiogenic drugs. What I was finding out was they were not killing. They were killing at very high doses. But that's bad stuff because what that even made things worse for drugs. To get in, they couldn't get in. So it was a very tough time in my career because I was going against the storm and being a chemical engineer too by training. So I, but I had enough data of my own to be able to say, okay. So in 2001, at a commentary in Nature Medicine, I said we need to normalize vessels using anti-angiogenic.
Yeah, I remember when you come to NFCR, you have this idea. You said, this is different. We saw that and we recognized that and we decided to take the risk. And the 1999.
Because what was happening in that time is my NIH grants were being rejected. And once that paper came out and my papers were not being accepted, my friends at the meetings would just turn around.
Because you are proposing different hypotheses, 180 degrees.
What they say is if you move the needle 5, 10, 20 degrees, you're a genius. But if you move 180 degrees, you're an idiot. So
We take a risk and we are able to stay with our scientists when we believe their unconventional effort and potentially lead to breakthroughs. And this type of uncharted effort is what we are really pushing forward. So we believe in this kind of venture. And little money makes a difference at the beginning.
Well, as scientists, we really appreciate that. I just want you to know that we are very grateful that you take this risk. Because once I got some money, I showed in animals and then published that. And the next thing they said is, well, this could be all Mickey Mouse work. So what about patients? So that's when I started doing clinical trials with my colleagues at Harvard, at Master ML, Dana-Farber. And we did about 40 trials, and it constantly kept showing what we have yet seen in animals, that if you use the right dose of anti-angiogenic drug, you repair vessels, normalize them, and now you can deliver drugs and so on and so forth. So then it was a proven concept. But then the most exciting thing came was in 2012, about 11 years after this hypothesis put forward, was that we did a study where we combined a normalization with anti-angiogenic therapy with immune therapy. And that doubled survival in animals. It did it because when immune cells can come in, when you repair the vessels, drugs can come in, oxygen levels go up, which the immune cells need to kill cancer. So when all that happened, that was really very gratifying. But what to me even more gratifying is that in the last 4 or 5 years, US FDA has approved 7 such combinations for 4 types of drugs, 4 types of cancer. Lung cancer, a big killer. Liver cancer, very rapidly growing cancer, especially in the eastern part of the world. And the third one is endometrial cancer. And what's going on right now, there are about 300 trials going on with such combination.
And those kind of approaches you really pioneered.
I feel very, very, very proud of that. And I think so we're going to see many more approvals. But we don't stop there. We go back to bedside. So I'll give you one example. So when we saw the success, we said, okay, can we apply to another immune therapy? And that's CAR T cells. They work like charm and have been approved for hematologic cancer, but they don't work in solid tumors and like brain tumors. So we just showed, we had a paper just 10 days ago where we acknowledge NFCR that if you normalize vessels, you can improve the outcome of CAR T therapy, which failed in GBM. So this is going to hopefully lead to a clinical trial. So we're not done yet.
There's so much that needed to be done. We continue to overcome the challenges and address the unmet needs. So I know you work with many organizations, but we've been working for a long time. Tell me what you are most excited about the aspect that working with NFCR and my team.
So I think what I like about NFCR is that it's very personal organization. You're not dealing with a huge bureaucracy. I pick up the phone, I want to talk to you just like that and, share information. So it's very personal. Second, you guys take risks. You really do. And that's So, I mean, you have no idea how important that is for science to move forward. Without risk, you can't forward science. You cannot move the needle forward. You need to take chances because the ideas in the beginning may look unbelievable, but they need some nurturing in the beginning. Well, you know, water, to nurture them and soil. So that's what you guys provide. And then so you take a risk. And also, a lot of times, funding agencies require preliminary data. Well, you need money to do it, collect that. And you don't require any preliminary data. Actually, we use the seed money to collect preliminary data.
We provide the seed funding.
You provide the seed funding. You got it. Yes.
Take the risk. And that's where we believe if the scientists get the exploratory seed funding, and many breakthroughs can come out of it.
Absolutely.
And that's where it can make a difference for.
And also, I like your collaborative spirit, which is you encouraging this now. Notice that too. Like the most recent cycle, you want 2 co-PIs to apply together. So just to give you an idea, this cycle, I joined Mario Suva who's an MGH colleague, and he is a leader in the area of single cell sequencing. So we needed that. So when this RFA came from NFCR, you need a collaborator. I approached Mario, and he had never received an NFCR grant. So we both joined hands, and we got funded, and we just published our first paper together.
That's great.
That came out.
Great progress.
They also had NFCR supporters listed there. And what this finding does is it suggests that a drug like Losartan, which is given to patients to control blood pressure, that drug, which is off PET, can improve the outcome of treatment of brain tumors when combined with immune therapy.
And that's huge.
So now with Mario, we collaborated with single cell sequencing and learned the mechanism, why Losartan works, why does it do this. But now we are ready to move this to the clinic. And I think my challenge right now is pharmaceutical companies don't want to fund it because Losartan is off patent. You see what I mean? So I am desperately looking for funding to do this trial so that we can help patients. Because not everybody in the world can afford $100,000 per year drug. Losartan costs less than $1 per year.
And that's why I think it's unique from a nonprofit perspective. NFCR can take a risk and also can address the unmet needs, not from commercial benefit perspective, but for patients' impact. And that's where we need to mobilize more support, amplify the efforts from the communities, and join the movements and mobilize more resources to support research like yours, and that can make a difference in saving lives.
Thank you. And I really think it will make a difference because by bringing affordable drug for cancer treatment, it will only help Americans, but it will help people all over the world.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Wonderful.
for your support. We're really grateful to you.
And I'm so glad to hear this 1+1 is bigger than 2 approach. And that's what we are trying to do. We pivot. Not only we take a risk at the early stage of the discovery, encourage scientists explore and make a discovery early on, but we also wanted to make sure that we really facilitate and convene the team approach. And that is, I think, the future trend, right? Everybody has some tool, nobody has all the tools. And curing cancer needs us together.
Classic example.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the whole world unite your hands together. And the investing in basic science, in clinical research, translational effort can really not only lead cures for cancer, but for other diseases.
You've seen our own work is helping kids who have schwannoma. These are the benign tumors. they lose their hearing. There's no treatment because surgery or radiation makes it worse. What we showed in a paper in 2013, that targeting a molecule called PLGF can improve survival without radiation. And guess what? So we did a trial 2009, and we showed that in 60% of the kids, the hearing came back in about a week after we normalized their vessels. And now that was approved 2014 in UK. So
I'm very proud in your research you pursue of all the cures. Thank you for everything you do, Dr. Jain, and you are my hero.
well, thank you for what you do. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. So thank you so much.
It's a fantastic partnership, and we are going to do great things together in the future.
I look forward to working with NFCR for many more years to come. The more we collaborate, the more lives we save.
Nothing is more important. Once again, huge congratulations on your Lifetime Achievement Award from AACR. I'm so proud of you, and you are so well deserved. I will be attending the award ceremony at the AACR conference in Chicago.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you.
I have such a wonderful time talking with you. We should do this again.
Absolutely. Anytime at all. I love talking about the work we have been able to accomplish together.
Thank you for joining us for this month's edition of All Things Cancer. Please subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Learn more about how NFCR is working every day with the cancer research community to make cures possible at nfcr.org. You can also reach us on our call line at 800-321-CURE.